Well, I first want to say that Grow Yoga Biz is not for every yoga teacher. I am not trying to be every yoga marketing, like every teacher's yoga marketing and business coach. There's just, we need to honor who our perfect client is, just like we teach yoga teachers to honor who their perfect client is. So a perfect client for us is, it's a yoga teacher who wants to teach full time for their living. They want to do what they love for a living. They also want to teach the 8-limb path, no matter what. They want to be true teachers on and off the mat. And they want to have a deeper, more committed relationship with their students. They want to create transformational experiences for them the same way that yoga did for them. So this is about, and why should yoga teachers join our program, if they fit into that criteria? Because that's exactly what we're doing. We're helping teachers honor the path of yoga, honor the student-teacher relationship, honor their worth. I am so tired of yoga teachers being kind of the wounded healer, where they feel like they have to be the sacrificial lamb of the yoga community, giving, and not being able to receive. So this is about creating a win-win situation for the student and for the teacher, where, okay, first we want you to get clear about what you're passionate about teaching. Second, who are you passionate about serving? And third, creating that transformational program that honors the change that your perfect client wants to make. If you feel like that is the kind of the framework of how you would want to teach, the setup, being grounded in your passion, then yes, Grow Yoga Biz is the right fit. But they must be courageous. They must absolutely be courageous. They must be coachable. They must be resourceful, decisive, and willing to be vulnerable. And to speak on that is, we want yoga teachers who come in with an open heart and an open mind. They're willing to take the coaching and implement right away, to get into action, because that's the quickest way to really learn about yourself and learn through the process. When you get into that analysis paralysis and you're afraid to make a decision, you're afraid to pick a niche, you don't have the ability to really advance, because you're just kind of just staying in this thinking mode versus getting into action. We want teachers who also are resourceful, that they're not 100% dependent upon us for every single answer, our coaching staff. I mean, we have 6 coaches that each student has the ability to get and ask questions and get support. So if somebody is 100% dependent upon us for all their answers, when they graduate from our program, they have a way of just flattening out, not really succeeding. So we want to make sure that they're resourceful, as well as they're decisive. Again, in talking about, in business, you often take 30 to 40% of the facts and you make a decision based on your gut. And that's just life. You have to make decisions based upon your instincts, even if there's in the face of fear. And let's face it, when you open up a business, there are going to be situations where you feel vulnerable, you feel fearful, and you're going to have to work through that. That's why the last 2 are probably the most important, and that's the willingness to be courageous and the willing to be vulnerable. So the courage is the willingness to market yourself, to be able to put yourself out there. Now, again, most of the teachers that we work with, they don't come in with a niche or a perfect client or signature program, but they know that they need to put themselves out there. And so there needs to be that courage, the willing to market yourself. The last, and certainly not least, is the willingness to tell your story. I don't care whatever story, whatever you went through, you've got to tell it. It's what draws people in. And some people say, well, I don't want it to be about ego. I don't want it to be about me. By telling your story, it doesn't have to be about you. All you're doing is allowing your students a deeper level to a connection to you. Because if often you won't be the only person in your niche. There's often other people, just like I'm not the only yoga marketing and business coach. But the thing is that I'm willing to open up my heart and tell my story. And I feel like that's where people really respond to what I have to say. And teachers that work with us have to be willing to say the same thing as well, to open up their lives.